Hey guys, back here once again rocking out some Don Broco with their third studio album, Technology. Don Broco is an alt-rock outfit that was formed in Bedford, England in '08. Since then, the boys have released two studio albums, Priorities, which put them on the map, and Automatic, which actually charted pretty high in the UK. For Technology, 6 singles were actually brought out before the album, still leaving another 10 hidden on there. Starting from the top, Everybody, Pretty, Technology, Stay Ignorant, T-Shirt Song, and Come Out to LA were released in that order in about a span of a year and a half. Sliding right into it, the first 5 songs of the album were actually 5 of the 6 singles, excluding Everybody, which was a little later down the track list. Fun, seems to be the 2 popular songs from the actual album, The Blues and Tightrope. Coming off of that is the final single, Everybody, before flowing into the latter half of the album. That includes Porky's and Yen. The gigantic thing I like about this band is their catchy, memorable way to drag you back in that isn't very common or mainstream. It's not something brand new that they've just invented out of nowhere, but it's not something that you just stumble upon when you make an album. It's something that requires skill and attention when you're making it. This is evidently shown right off the bat with the title track. The chorus does use some same word rhymes, which are a little cheesy and not really high effort, but yet the other half of the chorus doesn't rhyme at all, but still fills the gaps where it feels like it should. On the contrary, T-Shirt Song actually uses a very mainstream style to write a chorus, but what stands out to be about this track is how they go from this light piano at points to then swapping over to this heavy guitar immediately, and yet it feels very fluid and it fits very well. This song, not this song alone, more the entire album, but this song especially, has more of a several genre blending song centered around rock that just infuses different styles at different parts. For example, a more EDM driven trumpet can be heard in the background between one of the last bridges and choruses that builds you up to get ready for this last mesmerizing chorus that they go through. If you saw my January recap video, which you probably didn't, I go over the song Come Out to LA, which I said was my favorite from January, and it deservingly is. It's a more radio attempt at a rock song, but yet it's like they missed somehow, and how they were trying to make it radio friendly, but it still completely works in its own way and is a great song alone. The rock aspects and the pop synths mesh really well with the cleaner vocals in the chorus, but then all of a sudden the last thing you're expecting, a hard-hitting version of the chorus, then comes over in more of a, not screamo, but definitely harder metal style that I just kind of blows me away every time I hear it. The funk of Pretty is very wild and sporadic, and you'll be starting with some dance pop-driven bass, and then all of a sudden you'll transition right into a very guitar-heavy riff. The Blues is a more typical rock song that definitely plays to Broco's strengths, and without surprise is obviously one of the reasons that this is one of their most popular songs off the album. Tightrope is also a mimic of this. It's just a very well made rock song, a lot like the Blues. The bottom half is less of what I'm a fan of. The first portion of the album is just so great, and I got my expectations very high for the rest, and then it seems like the quality or something just dropped a little bit, like they were running out of time for the release, and they just had to get some songs done. So like, alright, let's go. They're not bad by any means, but they tend to be more just like some rock songs. Like the Blues and Tightrope were their best, just mainly rock songs, and then they kind of were like, alright, let's bring those up towards the higher on the track list because people will actually get and listen to it, and then the stuff we can kind of put on the bottom. And of those that seemed really underproduced and undermade was Got to Be You, which seemed to really strip back rock song that the instrumentals didn't really even feel like instrumentals. It sounded like I was almost on an elevator a little bit. Good Listener is a song that was very well written about phones listening when they're not supposed to be, and like when you go on Facebook and seeing something that you're talking about earlier, stuff like that. But it's just a pretty decent rock song. I do enjoy the little guitar riff that's on there, as well as the vocalization. Yen is the big standout from the last half of the album. It is a very pretty much rock song, but it also kind of brings in this like vocal chopping that you hear a lot in more pop EDM But it's still altered enough where it sounds very rock driven with what they were going for, and it also has a kind of bluesy guitar or bluesy bass and portions of the song that work very well. The close of them, Potty Mouth, is nothing too impressive. It's just a 3-4 minute song that's followed by 2 minutes of silence before a hidden track that is actually just a 50-second demo of another song, or an unreleased part of another song on the album, Something to Drink. This album starts off as one of the best genre blending rock albums I've ever heard, and then kind of turns into more of just a average rock album as it goes on. So that makes me want to give this an 8. Although if this had only been like the first 10 tracks or so, take or give a few, I probably would have rated this higher than an 8. So let me know what you guys thought of the video and the album down in the comments below. Also, let me know what you want to see me review that's coming out in the next few weeks as well. I'll see if I want to talk about it. So yeah, see you next time, guys.